welcome back. This is Afro Dames for Macy's Cooking Corner. I have Teresa Wilson, and we are finishing up this
Papas a la huacaína.
fantastic sauce to go with it. We've just made cheese, and now we are
Boiled eggs.
and she's just going to show you how easy it is to peel very fresh Araucana
Oh my
type
goodness.
eggs. Look
These
at this.
eggs were,
Beautiful.
from the chickens this morning.
Oh
So
my
if
goodness,
this
look at
works, if I peel that white one, it's going to work really easily.
Is it? Should I try it?
Yeah, try it.
So that you all know that this was boiled today in the pan, and then did you shock them?
I shocked them.
So she shocked them, and
Sometimes when you boil eggs, you notice
Oh,
you
look at that.
cook them and
fantastic.
the whole egg
These are
white
fresh
comes off.
eggs. This absolutely works because mine, when I have fresh eggs,
That one
it's
is
just
not as
awful.
fresh. This one's today, but that one is going to work really well. That one's aged a little bit.
But it's not 30 days, right?
No.
So, you know what I'm
Well, the
saying?
boys came up and traded with me, so I don't know what they have. So I'm going to go
Okay.
ahead and run him through and look and see what he looks like inside.
Oh.
Because we want to make sure that we have
Oh,
this
look how
egg.
beautiful that yolk is. Oh,
Yeah. So there we go. We got our
fantastic.
lovely yolk.
Yes, that's very
So
beautiful.
I'm going to go ahead and set that one aside. He's a little soft because we're in a little bit of a hurry, but
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm going to
I
set
like
him
them soft.
aside. There we go.
Yeah.
And the last
fantastic.
thing we have to do is go ahead and
Okay.
just saute some onions
We're gonna
and
saute some onions, blend some things to get our sauce, and then it's going to be bon appetit. And then we can, yes,
and then we can
Okay.
eat it.
and then we can eat and enjoy and help you to kind of get a sense that you are actually eating the food as well. So,
Oh, there we go.
Yes, we've got to help
We
them
can make
to
it sound so
understand.
good, huh?
That's right, and it really smelling good.
All right, now we're just
Alrighty.
putting our red onion in here.
Okay,
And
and then
we could use well, these are kind
Steak.
of in the way. Let's kind of
all
just
right,
dump
let's
those
put
out of the
this
way.
over here. on the
I'm
side.
just using a little bit of butter
Okay, we have some butter and some
and some pre-chopped
garlic.
garlic.
And we've got some garlic. I love garlic
And
for all of its
there's
properties.
an-
It's fantastic.
It's really funny to hear Guston talk about this particular recipe
Mhm.
because it's very common in Peru.
Right.
And he thinks that it should give ketchup a run for its money. He thinks
Oh.
people, if they know how to make this,
Ah.
they're going to give up the ketchup. But he says, I'm going to give you a really good recipe,
Okay.
but it's not to compete with your mother's recipe because mamas know best.
They certainly do. I absolutely agree.
Always. So
Okay,
your
so-
mama's recipe is always going to be best.
Yeah.
So we're just going to go ahead and let those cook for a little while. And
And
Till
can you use
they-
other kinds of onions or red onions? I love
red onions have a little bit better flavor.
Right.
The onions are different than when I was a kid. It's really interesting
sure.
how they've changed this. Kind of like we only know 3 kinds of potatoes, perhaps. We know a red
Right,
potato, a
yeah.
yellow potato, a russet potato, and that's
Yeah.
it. And there are so many different kinds. Onions have become the same. It's just
Right, just
completely the
two.
same. So you have a white onion, a yellow
Red-
onion, and a red
red
onion. You don't
onion.
know any other onions than that, right?
No,
No, that's pretty much.
no.
We think walla walla onion, or we might, these different kinds, but pretty much they all fall into white, yellow, and red. Well,
Right.
they've kind of lost a little bit of the flavor.
as well.
along
because
that-
do you
along
think
the
it
way.
because of the soil and what has
Oh, I
become
think
of
it's
the
a lot of things.
soil?
I think it's the marketing. We want to sell a particular kind and whatever sells and grows best. So,
Yes, that could be true.
but when I was a kid, I grew up in an onion field.
Oh, you did?
So yes, it was really funny
It's
because
not good, huh?
yeah, we could always just run out and grab onions right out of the field.
Nice.
So we want these to go ahead and lose their stiffness and lose a little bit of their color, and then we're going to
Okay.
throw them into the blender.
Oh, very nice. So just a light saute. Nothing
Yes. Now I
keeps it crunchy.
yeah.
Okay.
So we can go ahead and start putting the things in here that we're
what are
going
we
to
gonna
need.
put in here?
We're going to put
What's
in
the first thing? Some of the ricotta cheese.
some of the ricotta.
How much do you put in? Do you need this to measure? Let
Sure.
me take this out. Here you go.
We need about 8 ounces.
Okay.
And the recipe will be online, so you can
So
on
we'll
the
be able
tape.
to,
so you'll
yes, we're
see
going to
it.
put the whole recipe on there, the measurements of this cheese. So in order to make this, you have to make your own cheese as well. Or can you use?
Oh
can
no,
buy
you can go
avocado
ahead and
cheese?
buy it. You can buy
Oh,
a queso
okay.
fresco. I just wanted to show you that because it makes it so much more fun when you like
absolutely.
make my own. Look at
Yes, from
this.
scratch. And it didn't take that long.
No, it
did
really
not
doesn't take
that
long. If you just look
Okay.
at that, it's mostly done.
Yeah.
Then we're going to use this yellow pepper sauce is what it's called. I got this over at El Rancho because we didn't have it here at Macy's. But this is an ají, which is the Peruvian word for chili, amarillo, which is yellow pepper sauce. And this, it just is a lovely pepper. If we had them fresh, then we could go ahead and
Slice it
saute
and-
them along with
oh.
the onions and so on, but we don't.
So
So
that's
we are
fine.
going to use this. And if you
Oh,
just want to empty out that jar into there, we'll do that.
Oh, there you go.
This should help.
Oh, look at that. Does that actually
And
go in?
then
That's fantastic. So is this pretty
gonna go ahead and-
spicy or?
It has a lovely flavor. I think we think most often of jalapenos when we think about chilies in America. And they
Yeah.
tend to be a little bit bitter, and we just mainly notice the heat. This has a sweet, fruity flavor along with the heat, kind of like an habanero, but not as hot.
Okay,
And
I'm
so you
gonna
get
taste
a
it and see.
nice rounded flavor with the sweet and the hot together.
Just making sure I'm getting all of it in here, you know. So
That's good. And we can see that our onions
Got
now
some on
are
my nose.
beginning
I'm
to
gonna
lose a
taste
little
it.
bit of their color.
Oh,
They're
very
beginning
nice.
to turn soft. And they smell yummy, like onions are supposed to smell. When I worked at Spanish Fork Rodeo one year, Johnny, who owns Johnny's Market over here, Johnny's drive-through, that's what he would do to sell our hamburgers. He's like, just put onions on the grill, the people will come, because they can smell those onions. And I've thought about that many times since then. And then he went on to open his little drive-through, which was wonderful.
Well, just heads up for my friends. Depending on your taste buds, I suggest you try it a teaspoon at a time.
Not a teaspoon, a tiny taste.
A tiny taste, okay? Because right now, whoa.
It has a little heat. Yeah, but we're going to mix it with the
little
cheese.
heat. Yes.
And now
so
we're going
here
to
we
go ahead and put that on in there. And we'll just go ahead. And
Yeah.
that was just...
But that would be really good with some natural kind of burger or something else. I just took a big bit and.
Yeah, it probably needs a little bit
Do you
of
know what I
something
mean?
with
Something
it.
else with it. Yeah. Now and then what? Now what?
Now we need some of this, the milk.
This?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
And then for...
Carnation milk. Now, why carnation milk and not normal milk?
just because it takes an evaporated milk, you need to have the density of it.
Mm.
But the other thing that I think is really interesting, do you want to hand me those saltine crackers?
Oh, you're going to add that too?
We are going to put in saltine crackers.
Well,
Now, this is really hilarious to me because
Yes.
as I went around and talked to different people that I know about this sauce, my Spanish teacher, she says, oh, you're not going to put in saltines? That's what poor people do.
oh,
But then Gustavo Curio, who is a chef,
a well-renowned chef.
a world-renowned chef, his family sent him to Spain to
Wow.
study law because they expected that he would go into politics like his family. And he took all the money he was supposed to be using for his rent and went and bought a single meal because he loved the food so much. And he says, in that meal, I changed my life. I knew from then on I was going to be a chef.
Wow.
And he's
A chef.
a chef.
And there you go.
And they're proud of him now. At first, they were a little upset. They were like,
I
wait,
bet
you were
they
supposed to
were.
be a lawyer. Now we're going to put about half that can in there.
Okay.
And let's see. Have I got everything? Ding, 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 ding. Yes, sure. Go ahead, let's blend it up
Here
and see
we
what it looks like.
go. Yes, you have to have one of these machines.
Okay. There we go. I think
Wow.
we're good.
Fantastic. Do you need this plate or?
Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead
Look,
and
can
use
you
this.
show our audience?
Let's see what that looks like. It's got a lovely yellow color. It's still
Wonderful.
really quite runny. And
Very
Oh,
nice.
louder.
Very
Okay.
nice. Look at that. This is what kind of color? Sunshine and sunflower ray kind of,
I like that
sunshiny.
idea. Now, there's
color.
another way
Love
we could
it.
do this. We could use, instead of using as much of the cheese, you could go ahead and add peanuts.
Oh.
And that way you can have it as a non-dairy. if you wanna do
Non-dairy.
that.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Like
it's kind
it.
of fun.
Nice, nice.
So let's go ahead and dress our
Okay.
plate now. If you want to hand me
All
the
right.
plate.
Yes, indeed.
And I will turn around here and no, we have them right there.
Oh, there we
Here we
go.
go.
And you need some of this.
Yeah,
Now
we'll put
here
that
goes the
down.
fun part. We have our
So
lettuce.
we have our lettuces.
And do you need any more? Is that
I
good?
think that's okay. We can just
Okay.
make this pretty like that. Lay them
Steam that.
down.
You know, I love greens. I love greens. It's
There we
fantastic.
go. We'll put
Okay.
those
And
down.
what else?
Now I need some potatoes.
Some potatoes,
And that
which
knife are underneath
are
there.
underneath here. Ones that we
And
have
we've got
done.
those
We boil
Yukon
these
Gold.
and then yes, and we just
Now
peel them. They were
these
peeled.
Yukon Golds are going to work the best with that.
Are they easier to slice? Are they easier to what? What is
They
it? Why do you
just-
like the Yukon Golds
They have a lovely flavor and
from
they
Idaho? Is
hold,
that right?
yeah, they hold together. The russets will tend to be mealy.
Right.
These tend to stay nicely together.
I like that. And so this, what you've made is for about a family of 6, 10. What would you say? That's quite a lot, isn't it?
It is quite a bit. You could go ahead and use that. I don't even know. It's an appetizer. This is not like a meal.
Oh, an
this
actual meal. Oh,
This is, but you could just eat it if you went ahead and added
Yeah.
something to it.
right.
You could create a meal out of this or a light supper.
Right.
It's something that we don't do anymore. It's funny. We're always thinking we have
You
to have
a big meal.
a
at
big
the end.
meal.
That's true.
But when I was young, my
This was it.
grandpa, my dad,
Uh-huh.
they would have bread and milk, and that was dinner.
Wow.
And so why can't we just have like a little bit of potato and a little bit of
A little bit of egg. You got
egg.
your protein there.
and a
And-
little sauce, and we're
And
good.
you're good to go. It's true, actually. The times I've always felt eating a big meal at lunchtime is way better than
Yeah.
eating big at night, where it just stays.
So you see
in your
those
stomach and
creamy.
Yeah. Oh, look at those perfect eggs.
I know, aren't those beautiful?
They
It was
are
so
actually.
much
They
fun.
smell so good too. You know, that's one thing I really do love are eggs. I don't know,
Eggs
with a
are
little bit of
lovely.
salt, and you're good to go. It's a meal.
Yeah, they're lovely that way.
My mom once said she went to the doctor and complained that I wasn't eating when I was young, and he said, "Well, what are you giving her?" And she goes, "All she's had tonight is an egg and a drink." And he goes, "That's good enough. That's a meal.
That's
for a little
really all
child."
you really need.
That's right. And then what else do we topped it with something
With
else?
some olives.
Olives.
And they're
We can
over here.
Yes, we're gonna grab some
Upstairs here.
olives that you can get from Macy's
from
as
Macy's.
well.
Now these
Oh,
are good
look
with
at
a
that.
Kalamata olive
Are
rather
they?
than the black olive.
Oh,
but
the
black
green
olives-
ones.
No, the
Oh,
kind
what
of reddish looking
Oh,
ones. They
okay.
have a
Oh, I
different
love those,
flavor
yeah.
to them,
Very nice.
and they're pretty. So there we go. We'll go ahead and get
Fantastic.
everything out of our way so you guys
Oh,
can
look at
see.
this. So let's
the
just
mess.
recap really quickly what we started off. We made our own cheese. Is that correct?
We made our own cheese.
We made our own cheese, the curds and whey, which
never-
was very easy to do, boiling the water and adding lemon and what was the other ingredient? So we had milk, lemon, and
a little cream.
a
Now you
little
don't
whipping
have, I
cream.
used a whole milk. You don't have to add the cream.
don't have to add the cream.
The curds end up a little tougher without the cream.
Right.
And then the whey, don't throw that away. Use
you
it
can
for
use it
for other
bread
things, for
making or
bread.
whatever.
or you
then-
have one of those sons that's into bodybuilding. You can get him
Right.
to try and drink it.
And then we went into creating our little sauce, which is what's it called again?
That's the huacaína sauce.
The huacaína sauce. And we added here some of the yellow pepper. So that's probably about a couple of tablespoons. What was it? The yellow hot pepper paste.
We're pretty, according to the recipe, you can add up to half a cup, which is
Ooh.
pretty much
Wow.
that entire jar.
Okay, and that must be just
Which would be a little bit warmer. So
Warm,
let's
yeah.
say to taste.
to taste, yes.
To taste. And that will work out.
Optional how you want it. And then we
How much
added
you
some
want.
onions
A little onion,
and the
a little
cheese,
garlic,
that
and
you've
the
made, or you can
cheese.
buy your own.
Mhm.
And the quantities will be posted on our website, on Spanish Fork website. And
We
then
should come up with the
we certainly will do that. It will be. And then we have the potatoes that we sliced, and we put the olives, and voila.
So this is like
am-
going
yes.
on a little journey without ever leaving your house. This is something you would get, like I say, in Peru. If you go to a Peruvian restaurant,
Yeah.
this is going to be on the menu. So
So
it's a chance to try something you haven't really.
absolutely,
Looked up
I have
before.
not, had anything like this. Actually, you know what? I just remembered we had a couple of girls from Peru did come here. They're Zumba dancers in
Oh.
Springville, actually, and we had a kind of a raw fish dish.
The
with rice.
ceviche?
Yes.
Ceviche.
I think they did cook the ceviche. Yeah.
Ceviche,
It
and
was
you
in
had,
salt. It was salted or something.
Salted, not. They usually have the
That's
leche
good.
de tigre,
What's
which
that?
is the milk of the tiger. They put over the top of the ceviche. We could do that.
This is not as hot as
As
I
it is
thought.
when it is straight out of the jar.
Exactly. Yeah, not at all. But the flavors are there, and it's really good. The mix that you have.
Now we didn't show adding the salt and the pepper. That will come up
That's
inside
right.
of the recipe.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you so
Delicious.
much for having me.
Oh, it's been a delight. We've had this. I've learned so much from eggs, how to peel an egg, making cheese, curds and whey. We've said the poem. It was fantastic.
It was just basic cooking, and so that's what I think. Sometimes we lose. Sometimes those basic techniques that associate us with the earth. All of our food comes from the earth, but we don't really think of that. We think it comes from the store.
Right.
It comes from the earth,
We
but
can
we
go
need to
back to
remember.
basics.
So we can go back to a little bit closer to that.
Fantastic.
So
Well,
thank you again.
Oh, thank you, Teresa. And we look forward to having you again on the show and
I'll do it.
with our Peruvian Mr. What is his name? The author there? Gusto.
Gastana Curio
That's
and
right.
David Knowlton. Hopefully we'll be putting in
fantastic.
his appearance as well.
Fantastic. So to you all out there, grateful that you were able to watch us. We're here at Spanish Fork, Macy's, every Thursday, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you.